Happy Saturday, family. Pull up a stool, find a spot that isn't covered in finished t-shirts or metal shavings, and let's talk shop. It's July 2026. The cicadas are screaming louder than my table saw, and we've got a lot to chew on today.
We really do. And judging by the way you walked in here, clutching that Victorinox like it's the Holy Grail, I'm guessing you've been reading the new tool reviews.
I feel seen. But look, my pockets have been through a lot of heartbreak over the years. I've carried multi-tools that felt like trying to use a pocket knife attached to a brick. But this Spirit Axe, it's like they finally realized we actually want to cut things with the knife part. The blade is longer, leaner, and it came out of the box with an edge that'll make you nervous just looking at it.
It is sleek. But let's be real, Tiger. Most people are looking at the heavy hitters for the shop right now. You've been running that Hercules 12-gallon extractor for a month. Is it actually keeping the lungs clear, or is it just a fancy blue bucket that makes a lot of noise?
It's the real deal, Alex. Usually, I finish a day of sanding and I look like a powdered donut. My wife won't even let me in the mudroom. But this HEPA system, it's got a grip on the dust that's almost personal. It's the difference between a shop that feels like a coal mine and one where you can actually breathe without coughing up a 2x4.
High praise. Though I noticed you also have that Works Aero cart parked by the lumber rack. Is that for the mature craftsman who's tired of throwing his back out? Or is it actually as versatile as the ads say?
Hey, I am seasoned, not old. But yeah, that cart is a bit of a shapeshifter. It's a wheelbarrow until you need a dolly, and then it's a hand truck. Last Tuesday, I had to move 3 slabs of white oak that weighed about as much as a small car. Usually that's a call 3 friends and order pizza kind of job. I did it solo with that cart and didn't even drop my coffee.
All right, let's pivot from tools to the people who use them. I was reading your take on the auto industry, and it seems like the spreadsheet ninjas are at it again, trying to cut out the service advisors to save a buck.
It's a classic case of tripping over a dollar to pick up a dime. These folks in the front office think if they cut the middleman, they're leaner. But a service advisor isn't a middleman, they're the shield.
Right, because if I'm a tech and I'm halfway into a complex transmission rebuild, the last thing I want is to wipe the grease off my hands to explain to a confused customer why their clunking sound costs $2,000 to fix.
Exactly. When a technician has to stop turning wrenches to play secretary, the whole heartbeat of the shop skips. You lose the flow. Plus, a good advisor is a translator. They take grease monkey speak and turn it into customer peace of mind. If you're running a shop this summer, don't just look for someone who can type. Find someone who can talk someone off a ledge while explaining the value of a high-end brake rotor.
It's the human element. You can have $1 million diagnostic computer, but it can't build trust with a person whose car just died on the highway.
Spot on. Better staff beats more staff every single time. It's about the quality of the connection, not the quantity of the payroll.
Speaking of value, let's talk about the Maker Mogul section of the blog. You're telling people to stop hoarding their scrap wood and start making organic charm clocks? Tiger, are we really back to the 1970s wood clock era?
Not the ones with the dangling plastic weights and the fake birds, Alex. No. Think high-end gallery. We're talking live-edge walnut rounds with minimalist brass hands. People in 2026 are starving for something that didn't come out of a flat-pack box from a Swedish warehouse.
So it's about the story again?
It's always the story. If I sell a C-table, those little laptop tables that slide under a couch, and I tell the buyer, hey, this came from an orchard in the valley that got hit by a storm last year, that's not just furniture anymore. It's a conversation piece. They'll pay 3 times the price for the narrative.
I've seen those C-tables all over Etsy. They're basically 3 boards and some pocket holes if you do it right. The margin must be insane.
Don't tell everyone the secret, but seriously, the value add pyramid is real. Raw lumber is worth pennies. A table is worth dollars. A handcrafted heirloom with a local history is worth a mortgage payment. If you've got a pile of offcuts, stop thinking of them as firewood and start thinking of them as geometric wall art.
Okay, let's get into the DIY mastery stuff. I saw the Craig Edge challenge on the live stream. Are we really still debating pocket holes? I thought the purists decided those were cheating back in 2012.
The purists are still hand-cutting dovetails in the dark while the rest of us are actually finishing our projects. Look, joinery is a tool, not a religion. What the New World carpentry guys are doing is pushing the limits, using pocket holes for edge joining in ways that are structurally solid and visually invisible. It's about being smart, not being a martyr for the sake of a handsaw.
And then there's the Nova Scotia crew. They're out there hand-splitting shingles. That feels like the opposite of fast and smart. That feels like A lot of blisters.
Oh, it's a marathon, not a sprint. There's something meditative about it, though. When you're installing handmade shingles, you're not just weatherboarding a house, you're creating a suit of armor. It's slow, it's methodical, and your hands will feel like they've been through a meat grinder by Tuesday. But when you stand back and see that texture, you can't get that with a nail gun and a bundle of shingles from the big box store.
It sounds like you're romanticizing manual labor again, Tiger.
Maybe a little, but isn't that why we do this? To see the marks of our own hands on the world. Whether you're using a high-tech 18V multi-tool or a 100-year-old shingle draw knife, it's about that moment when you look at something and realize it exists because you decided it should.
That's actually a pretty good place to wrap it up. Before we go, what's the one thing people should take into their shops this weekend?
Don't let the fear of a perfect result keep you from a good start. Your scrap pile is a gold mine, your tools are only as good as your patience, and if you're moving heavy stuff solo, for the love of your lower back, get a cart.
Words to live by. Thanks for hanging out in the Tiger Den, everyone.
Keep building, keep learning, and we'll see you at the workbench.